G'day folks, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve the 3x3 mirror blocks cube. I think this is also called the bump cube, but in any event it's a pretty cool puzzle and it is a 3x3 mod, but the thing about it is all the pieces are different shapes, so shapes and sizes I should say. So we've got the center pieces are all the same, but in terms of these pieces you can see that even though these are the same width, they're slightly longer as we go up, and that happens all over. So when we start turning it, you can see that it does some quite bizarre things. So I'm going to scramble it up. Now I'm going to solve it the same as I would solve a 3x3 cube normally. Use the edges first approach, very simple method, and really requires only 2 algorithms to do it. And I do apologise if any of the light is flickering off the bright and dazzling gold stickers. Normally that wouldn't happen so much, but these gold stickers are pretty full on. Okay, so that's scrambled. The cube is a complete and utter mess. Where do you start? Well, we know that the centres are fixed, they're not going to go anywhere. So the first thing that I normally do is just look for a piece that's already in, or place one. Now I can see that this edge piece here, and the edge pieces are the pieces between centres, that edge piece is beautiful. It's flush with the top and it's flush with the side here as well. So that is definitely in. So I'm going to call this my upper face, and I'm going to work around here, and I'm going to think, alright, well I'm looking for an edge piece that goes here, and potentially, not exactly sure, potentially it could be this one here, I don't know. So what I'll do is turn that around, place that up and try it, and I can see that, no, it's not, it's got to be a little bit fatter and a little bit higher, but the same sort of width. So I might look for something like that. Well, there's one that's a little bit fatter and a little bit higher, so it could well be that one. So we'll just move it around to that position and see. That certainly seems to be the right height. So I'll place that in there, and that does look good. So just putting it in there and making sure that this one that we've already done stays intact. So you can see that's nicely placed now. The next one around, this one is quite a long one, so it could actually be this one here, which is twisted around, or flipped I should say. So I'm just going to take that out with an edge piece series, and then in fact I reckon it's going to be too high. Yeah, so you can see it's the right length, it's beautiful there, it's just slightly too high. So I'm looking for a piece, an edge piece that's similar to that, but is not quite as high. I also want the same length, so I reckon that's going to be a bit too long. Let's have a look down on the nothing in the middle, so have a look down on the bottom. Now what did I say? Yeah, it was that one we tried. It just needs to be a little bit less high than that, so it could be this one here, but I think this is going to be too long. So first thing, we'll try that up there. It's wrongly oriented in any event. I will just continue, just having trouble holding the left hand side of it. You can see now that that lines up quite nicely there. So that's potentially going to be something that goes with that, but it's not the one that we want. So let's keep looking. That sort of length, a little bit less high in an edge position. That's not right. This is part of the fun of just locating the exact piece that you want. I wonder if it's that one there. That's potentially, we'll give that a go and just see if it's the right height. So we'll have a look, and in fact, yep, they were the first 2 we placed. This is the third one. It's the right height there, and it fits there nicely, so that's good. And this last one, so really I'm just doing the white cross here. Obviously it's going to take a lot longer than a normal cube. This last one, I've got a piece there that's the right height, but it's way too long. So let's have a look. Here's another one that's the right height, and if I turn it around there, I can see that it matches perfectly. So that is my 4th piece. Or in fact, that, let's have a look. That's what I'd done. I'd turned the upper face, so that's cool. That's the one I placed first. That's my second one. And now, in fact, this one, which goes here, it does go here, but I'd not placed it with an edge piece series. I just turned it, and so I need to use an edge piece series to place that one and keep these other two intact. So I've got that third one now, and now I'm looking for this one here. So things should start to dwindle a little bit in terms of what we're looking for. I wonder if it's this one. First thing I'll do would be to try it for height, and it's a bit high, so what's next to try? Potentially this one. That actually looks pretty good, so I'm thinking if I want to place that one up there, let's put it up there and then move it back, and we'll see that, yep, that's actually the right length out as well. So looking at the pieces, the edge pieces between the center, you can see that all four of them are now placed. So that's effectively the white cross done. I'm going to turn that upside down. I'm going to start placing these middle layer edge pieces, 3 of them to be exact. This one here is a really small one, so I'm going to hope that it's this one that I've just got in there, and I'm going to turn that down. Yep, and you can see when you turn it down that it matches there as well. So place that one with an edge piece series. That's in. What else have we got? We've got another fairly small one here, which could be this one. So I might take that out and have that up here and see if that's going to go. Not quite. Not quite. So it's one like this, but it's slightly longer, which looks like this one over here. And you can see now the length there matches up, so I'm going to assume that is correct, and it is. Here we go. So we've got 2 of those middle edge pieces done. Now this one here that goes in here, it could actually be this one just flipped around, so we're not really sure yet. So we'll have a look and see what's up the top on offering. Not that one. Also not that one's too short. It's not this one here, I don't think, although we'll turn that. Oh, it is. Look at that. It's that large one there. So we'll turn that one down. And it looks like we've got a 4th one here, but we don't, because it has not matched up with this center. So we've got 3. Here is my 4th. I'm now going to go ahead and start placing the upper pieces at the back. So the 2 upper pieces at the back. So first thing is, if I can just turn the face to place either of them, I will, and you can see that as I do that, nothing there has worked. So the piece that goes in this back position is quite a thin piece, thinner than this. So I'm going to assume it's probably this piece here, and to do that I'm going to put this one down into my last middle edge position, and now I can turn it up into that back position. So I've kept this one as my sort of 4th edge that's not done. I've placed that one at the back. I'm now looking to place this one at the back, and miraculously I've placed that as well. So that's what I'm aiming for, those 2 at the back, and that'll leave me with 3 pieces to go in some configuration. Now the 3 pieces could be solved if you're lucky. The 3 pieces could be in a 3 cycle, which we actually don't have here, and the other main possibility is that we could have what we've got here, which is that one's placed. We've actually got these 2 that need to switch. So that one needs to go there, and if we look at this one, that needs to go there. So when we have a swap, what we need to do is turn the upper face 1 turn, and now go ahead and re-solve these 2, which were over here, put them back in their positions using even turns. So I'm going to this to this first of all as a 3 cycle. Okay, that's placed that one back, and the other one is this one, and it goes over here. In fact, it's this one from memory, yes. So I'm going to turn that around, turn it up onto its position, turn it back, and put down these ones so that these white, effectively white pieces stay where they are. And now what we'll find is, again, we won't have a swap, but we could have the last three pieces solved, or they could be in some kind of 3 cycle. So what we want to look at is find out which direction they're going. I can see that this one's got to go there. That'll solve when it goes there. This one's got to go up to there, and that'll solve, and they turn into position correctly oriented. This last one, when I try and turn it down to here, that is flipped, and so that tells me which direction or which parts I need to turn. When I want this to go to here and it's got a flip, then what that tells me is that that position has got to turn up, and then I put the piece onto its position. That's the order, and then I undo those moves. And you can see that when we've done that, we actually have all of our edges placed, and it's kind of looking like a bit more of a cube. And in fact, that leads us to the last stage, which is to place the corners. And so the nice thing about this method is it doesn't matter which corners you place. You can place whichever ones you like, whichever ones are handy to place. So I guess what I want to do is just locate one corner that'll turn into its position somehow. And as I said, it's not always easy done as it's thought about. Let's have a look, see if we can find just one. When it gets like this and it's like, what the heck do I do? Sometimes the thing to do also is find that smallest piece, which happens to be that one, and find the position of the smallest piece, which I reckon is that one, and let's go to place that small piece. Now you can see that if I turn it up there, that is going to place nicely. So as a setup, remember this is where we started, as a setup I'm going to turn it to there, and I'm going to now roll that down that diagonal. So the corner movement is going to be this corner to this corner to this corner. That'll place that one, and it'll be an anti-clockwise turn of the upper face for the corner piece series. And then you remember that we did have a setup, so I put that back. That little corner there is now in. And what I might do is then go and place the second corner, which I think is this one. I can just test it. Yep, that looks pretty good. So again, I'll do the exact same piece movement here to place that one. And that one is already also in, I should say, not already in. Now on the bottom are all the large pieces, so we might as well keep going and place, if we can, some of the smaller pieces. So I've got that one, and I've got this one over here. So I would think that this one belongs in this position, but I'm actually not sure. So I'm just going to have a check to see whether it does. Now I think that's too long, so I don't reckon that does. So I'll try that more. Okay, so it belongs in this one. So if you're wondering what I've done, I've actually just done a couple of setups there. So that's the fixed position, a couple of setups to put it over here, and now what I want to do is again roll it down to here, exactly the same piece movement. Alright, that one's in. We'll put our setups back, and you can see almost all of this face is done. Where's our last piece that belongs here? Well, that last piece is there. Now how does that need to go? That, I think, actually needs to basically direct swap with that. So swap down to there and flip itself upside down. Now, if you have this situation, you can achieve this without a corner piece series. You can just use 3 edge piece series, and these two over here will also swap. So we just are doing a down, down, up, up 3 times. Okay, and you'll see that when we've done that, that has actually swapped that piece, and the entirety of that thin layer is now done. We'll put back these pieces wherever they came from so that the edges are all back, and that'll leave our 4 corners on the top here. So again, we're just looking to see if we can find one that will roll. I reckon this one might roll to there. So far we've been using corner piece series that cycle pieces in a clockwise direction, but which turn the upper face anti-clockwise first. When we now cycle pieces in an anti-clockwise direction, our first turn of the upper face is a clockwise turn. Okay, and that one's placed there. This will leave us the last three corners, so we are down to our end game in some form. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to find one that needs to roll, which looks to be that one there. We're going to say, alright, if that one's got to roll into that position, I'm not really going to think about this one. I'm going to grab this other one and move it around and try and get it into a position where it will roll into that part there. Now let's see if it would roll from here. No. So I'm going to turn it around the bottom again. So I've done two down face turns, nothing to worry about there. And I'll put it up here. Let's see if that will roll. That will roll. So that tells me that they are my correct setups. Let's start from the beginning. So here I've got that one rolling to there. My third piece, which is on the bottom, I'm doing a down 2, left 2 as my only setup. Now I know that will roll correctly, that will roll, and therefore this one is going to have to be placed correctly. I can't have one twisted. So I'll now do my final corner piece series to place the last three. And you can see that's gone in beautifully. What were my setups? Left 2, down 2, and you can see all is well, and our mirror blocks cube, and I do thank you for putting up with the excessive light, has been solved.